Boxers. Boxers, I gave you rules. Okay, my. Let the best man win. Shake hands and good luck. God bless you.
Simple instructions from the ref there. Nothing too complicated. I spoke to Vlad earlier. His English has got a lot better. He's trying to improve his English, which is a good thing. I know you've interviewed him a few times, so you know as well. He's trying to improve his English. He's almost an adopted South African now, really. We say him from the Ukraine. He is from Ukraine, but he's pretty much for all of his career here, minus a couple of fights. So, no touch of gloves as well. And this Bachtoff looks like he's going to come and have a go, isn't it? Which is good and what we need to see.
You can feel that sense of national rivalry. You can cut a nice little jab there from Vlad Sierenko starting off the proceedings.
The thing about Dennis Bachtoff, also that experience, I mean, he's seen everything. I mean, he's been in there with guys a lot bigger than him. He's been with guys faster than him. He finds a way to get his work off.
Yeah, nothing really to lose for Dennis Bachtoff.
No, not at all. Not at this stage of his career. He's a guy that's just, he's a glorified journeyman, really. I don't want to, it's not nice to call someone a journeyman, but that's what he is. He's going around, taking these fights, seeing how good these young kids are. But he will come and cause a stoppage if he can. He does throw. He isn't a guy that's going to come and shit punches. He will have a go. And that's why you look at his record. There are a few knockouts on that record, knockout losses, because he has a go. He stays in the pocket and trades.
Yeah, not much yet from Vlad Sierenko, just a bit of a feel-out process, and we know how hard he can hit, so when he does get started,
yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, even his jab has already started to bruise up the face of Bachtoff. You look at the face of Bachtoff, it's already red already, just from the jab. It's a horrible jab, Vlad.
Oof, good left hook.
Yeah, doubled it up as well, went to the left to the head and the body. Yeah. He does things almost in Terminator mode. I mean,
great left hook.
There's no expression on the face, there's nothing.
Yeah, interesting that when he did approach someone, he went for the Smiths, considering that they have Tabisum Tunu there, they have Chris Thompson there, so it's good array of sparring. Vlad Sierenko hitting hard here.
Yeah, you mentioned sparring. I mean, in recent months, Vlad Sierenko has been sparring Povetkin, he has been sparring Usyk. I mean, you don't get better sparring in the world than Alexander Usyk right now at heavyweight. I mean, it's phenomenal. He was sparring Usyk in preparation for Usyk's heavyweight fight against Carlos Takam, which was called off. They called in Vlad Sierenko, who is probably a similar frame as Takam in terms of the height as a heavyweight. So he's getting fantastic sparring. So he probably isn't going to get ideal sparring at the Smith gym, just because it's not a gym blessed with heavyweights, really, or top quality heavyweights. But when he goes to Ukraine, I mean, he's sparring some of the best.
Yeah, going back to the point about the heavyweights and the cruiserweights being booming in the Eastern Europe, like he also went for Povetkin not too long ago in preparation for that Anthony Joshua fight. So he's well experienced.
Yeah, and there are rumors, and rumors are rumors. Sparring is sparring, but there are rumors that he put Daniel Dubois in sparring to sleep. And Daniel Dubois is one of the biggest prospects out there right now in heavyweight boxing. I mean, I know Bachtoff's nose was busted up even before coming in, but it looks like it's got worse.
Yeah,
that jab looks like it's really starting to do something. And you can see he's just completely slowed down as well, hasn't he? I mean, he came in all fired up, and now look, he looks like he's on wooden legs already now. He's slowed.
Yeah, that's definitely a Vladislav Sierenko run.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you can win a fight on a jab, win it on a jab. I mean, he's not even...
You can see just look at that cut on the nose there.
That looks like it would phase anyone apart from him. It looks like a guy that is built for this kind of fight. It doesn't look like it phases him at all.
Yeah, as you said, walking into the dressing room earlier, that's not the one that you want to walk into.
No, I quickly exited, trust me. I looked at him, and I thought, yeah, no. Good little double up. The way he does that body and head, very sharp.
If you're going to call anyone to be your bodyguard, it'll be Vladislav Sierenko in that situation. But watch him work to the body so nicely.
Good hook as well.
Vladislav came up. Oh, he's looking good.
What I want to know with Vlad, and look, we've seen him put away at best D-level fighters. I mean, does that power go up when he does take on the B, and fingers crossed the A-level fighters? We don't know. I mean, can he take a punch? We don't know. I mean, I've never really seen him hurt, but can he take a punch? These are questions that we're going to only find out in the next sort of 4 or 5 fights.
Well, certainly in South African conditions, he's dealt with a bit of lack of good opponents, as you were mentioning a bit earlier.
Yeah, they're going to have to do this. They're going to bring these guys. They're going to bring guys over now. I mean, whether or not you can afford to bring over the top-level guys, but, I mean, if they can sell out this place, and it is a big arena, let's be honest, I mean, this arena can stretch to, what, 10 to 15,000. I mean, they bring a big name over, they'll fill it. They'll fill it. So, I mean, there is opportunities for him over. He doesn't need to travel.
Oh, you can feel those shots from the commentary position.
Yeah, Bachtov's starting to ship these now. I wonder how long. Fires back.
Oh, sorry, this is...
Yeah, it's just big digs, isn't it? I mean, Bachtov's a tough man, maybe too tough for his own good, because he is shipping big right hands. He's firing back, to be fair. You know, you don't want the referee to kind of come in and have a look at this one. He is firing back.
He's firing back with not enough to put Vlad Sirенko at bay.
Yeah.
Vlad will stick on him as long as he... Look at that, just simple jabs escaping through the guards, pushing his head back. Nice jabs to the body.
What I like about Vlad is how composed he is. Even at times there where Bachtow looked like he was hurt, he didn't go for the kill, just took a step back, reassessed its situations, and then starts firing again. It's good stuff. He's only going to get better when he fights good opponents. I mean, he's going to go up to the level of his opponent, I think.
His level raises.
Yeah, his level will raise.
I think at times it's just been too easy for him, and I think now is the time to start bringing the guys in. He's had his honeymoon period. He needs to come in now and get the guys and fight his level.
He does look a bit fleshy. Is that just me, or does Vlad look a bit fleshy? When I think he first came over, he was a younger kid, obviously 21, 22, but he looked a bit more muscular back then.
You see, that could be the result of just having it easy. Now, with a fight like Bachtow, you would have thought maybe, but is this even the opponent to bring him to that?
No. I mean, look, I like Bachtow. I think I like an experienced pro. I've seen him in the UK myself, but this is a guy that has got a kind of a loser's mentality now. He will know. He knows he's going to lose. He's lost his last 6 and 7s.
It's like almost so every loss becomes easier.
Yeah.
But in saying that, he's no pushover.
Yeah. I mean, he hasn't won since 2014, and that was against Konstantin Aric, who's a decent fighter.
Great shot there, Vladislav Sirenko. That right hand connecting with venom.
Oof. Every punch in the book he's thrown, he's done the jab, double jabbed. He's gone to the body a couple of times. I mean, he looks like he's got the same amount of power in his left as he's got in his right, if I'm honest with you. Nice jabs on the way back as well. Jabs on the back.
One thing I have noticed about Sirenko's performance, he's not looking lackadaisical like he has looked in the previous year. He's looking like he wants to be in the ring with Bachtow.
Yeah, I mean, that could be a change of camp. I mean, when you're in the same camp for a long time, you get bored with doing the same routines over and over again. Obviously now in the Smith gym, different things, trying out different ideas, different techniques, a different voice in the corner. That will motivate you.
Yeah.
I mean, can that motivation stay for 5 or 6 fights? We don't know, but it will motivate you to change. And look, the Smith's a great camp as well.
Yeah, it's a great camp in South Africa. I think that they got some great. I mean, there's a whole list of guys, but I mean, earlier tonight Maurice Matamba was on the bill, and obviously he showed what he can do. And it's a good camp in South Africa. Yeah,
I mean, you want to be in a camp with winning guys, undefeated guys, and you like Maurice Matamba's in that camp now, or sorry, has been in that camp as well. So that's the kind of camp you want to be in. You want to be in a good camp when everyone's winning. There was a camp like that similar in the UK, Joe Gallagher's camp, that had one time had so many different people, Scott Quigg, Crawler, Callum Smith, Paul Smith, all unbeaten, all winning. It just kind of confidence and winning is that kind of disease that will go around to everyone.
And this is also the stage of Sirenko's career where people from overseas, other promoters around the world are starting to look at him and think, can we bring him up? You know, he's not 3 or 4 fights in with no one's really noticing him. He's 11 fights in now.
He will know as well, though, as much as we know ringside, he now needs to kind of get rid of Dennis Bachtow. Again, every other guy coming up, every good prospect has kind of got rid of him in sort of 5 or 6. You look, Romanov got a good prospect as well from Russia, got rid of him in 1. We know Joshua got rid of him in 2. Other guys out there have got rid of him early, so if he wants to put a stamp down and say, I'm here, I'm a fringe world level guy myself, he's got to get rid of him in the next couple of rounds.
Yeah, no, I can't disagree with that. I think that's pretty spot on. I think he knows what he has to do. I think the first 2 rounds was a good feel-out process, and I think now is the time that he starts pressing the button a little bit harder.
Absolutely.
But there is something different compared to the rest of the South African boxing scene, even African boxing scene. When you talk about Vladislav Sirenko, you're talking about probably the best heavyweights that is training in this country at the moment.
Yeah.
Hands down.
See,
great left hook.
See that? See what he did there? Just kind of sped things up a bit. Just kind of step to the side, step to the right, and then for a nice little hook. Just to mix it up there. That's the guy that's thinking of what he's doing, which is good.
That's great footwork for heavyweights. A great right hand there from...
You do wonder now, though,
Sierrenko.
and you mentioned that he's now moved to the Smith camp. He's no longer, obviously, under the guidance, you like, of Neft Visa. You do wonder, can that fight not happen? Ruan versus Vlad? I mean, realistically, I know who I think would win, but can it not happen? I mean, it couldn't happen last year because they were both under James Ali Bashir. They no longer are. I mean, that was the excuse last year. That's what we're hearing.
Yeah, obviously, and also, interesting enough, Wladysław Sierrenko also took up new management under, with the German promoter, Maxim Michelu, and he's obviously looking to move him into the Eastern blocks as well. Look at that face of Bachtoff. It's taking a beating.
Might want to... I mean, look, he's a tough man. You know that.
He knows it as well.
Yeah, he's almost too tough. He's getting caught there with silly shots now.
But he's not a guy that will quit.
No, absolutely not. I mean, he's the kind of guy, unfortunately, where your corner has to look at it, or the ref. But because he's doing this and moving forward, an experienced fighter, you've got to give him a chance.
No, you can't just jump in there. Referee
just want to have a look at the cut. Referee wants to have a look at the cut. No, experienced ref, just have a look at the cut. He's not calling it off, which is good. He wants a doctor to have a look at the cut.
Doctor's just slowly approaching you.
Yeah.
He's going to have a quick assessment of how bad it is, if he can continue.
It's not that bad.
It's not rolling into the eyes.
It's on the corner of the eye. He can continue.
Well, the doctor's giving a bit of advice there. Looks like it's fine and they're going to continue.
Yeah, I mean, what that means, though, is that he's got this in the next round to do something, or they will call it. When the doctor starts looking at it like that, it's almost the start of a long goodbye, basically. Good jab again.
Good jab there, yeah.
He's throwing, I mean, we don't have Kompu punch number stats here, but I mean, that jab must have landed at least 50 times and knocked his head back.
Yeah.
Good jab.
He's got a good jab, Sierrenko. Again, another Ukrainian with amateur pedigree, but he just seems a step above some of the other guys that have come out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they need their time. I mean, I'll be honest with you, the Hulk looked good, and we're probably going to see clips of him later on. He looked quite good, and he's win. He just looks the part, doesn't he? That's what it is. I mean, physically he looks the part as well.
I think if you're going to sell a super knockout artist, he's the guy. Let's have a look at some of those cuts on his face.
But his face is already bashed up, so that's the thing. Any little thing will open it up again. But it's not that. I mean, it looks like he's got one on the inside of the eye as well, on the inside of the left eye. Where's that blood coming from? I mean, that's a man that's been through some wars, isn't he? You want Vlad to have rounds, but you don't want it to be one-way action. I wanted Vlad to get a few rounds here, but I wanted it to be a case of Bachtoff landing some shots. We haven't got that, so that's when you start to consider whether it's worth pulling him out. I mean, Bachtoff will get another fight, and he'll get... maybe you have a look at putting him out for this one.
Round number 4 is underway.
It is. It's an 8-round fight. Round number 4. The unbeaten Wladysław Sierrenko from Ukraine, now based here in Johannesburg under the Smith's guidance now. Since obviously no longer with James Ali Bashir against the very experienced Dennis Bachtoff from Russia. He pretty much goes anywhere to fight now, Dennis Bachtoff.
Yeah, almost like a road warrior. Just always... Yeah. But at this point of your career, that's probably the only option you'll have. There's no rebuilding at this phase. Vlad's still a bit cautious. I think he still respects Bachtoff.
Yeah, I mean, Bachtoff is still coming to fight. What's happened there? Is something... Did he hurt his hand? His left hand or something? Something's happened. I don't know if it was left leg or hand, but he just seems to kind of take a couple of steps back and not like it.
Ooh, big right hand there. Sierrenko on the back foot for the first time in the fight.
Sierrenko don't want to go points with Bachtoff. It's a win, and that's the most important thing. But you want to put a marker down. I mean, usually he gets kids out of it by now.
Yeah, but a win's a win, but it's also how you win.
Yeah.
Especially when you get, as you move through the ranks. I think in the beginning, when you're struggling, or if you have no vision of a future, then a win is a win. But when you're a top level fighter, a win's not just a win.
No, you need to be impressive in that win.
If he's as good as we think he is, then he should be putting
You know,
him away.
Hayden Matthew, I don't know how good he is. I mean, I look at that fringe world level scene, and there are some frightening prospects fringe world level. There's a Nigerian based in America now called Efe Ajagba. There's Tony Yoko, who's come off his doping ban. Gold medalist at Rio. He's 6 fights, 6 wins.
I'm sure the Nigerian guy would like to come take my comments away about the most deadliest man on African soil.
He might, I'm telling you, because he's a big guy, 6'8", can box, can punch. You've got the UK kids, Joe Joyce, Nathan Gorman, Daniel. There's a load of kids out there right now that are kind of similar in terms of records, 11, 12, and 0, that all think they're the next big thing. So,
and Eddie Hearn's talking about this Croatian guy that's coming through as well.
Yeah, Hrgovic, the Croatian Hrgovic, has got a contract with Eddie Hearn in the Saulands. I actually spoke to Nisa Sauland, sat down with him for dinner about 4 or 5 days ago. He was really talking about Hrgovic in terms of him being the next big thing. So there's so many. And then you've got the guys that are at world level. So the heavyweight division right now is absolutely stacked. So if you want to put a marker down and get yourself out there, you've got to get rid of Dennis Bachtel.
Yeah, he had a little bit of success in this round, a lot more than any other round that he's had in this fight. I think Sierrenko just taking a breather this round.
He is taking a breather. I ain't taking a breather or getting his second win. I mean, that's what we need to find out. Nice little right hand down the pipe there.
Oh, great right hand.
Good right hand again.
Just simple 1-2s, just getting through. Sometimes they're just so strong you can't stop them. And on that occasion,
the thing is, and I think maybe people that might not, maybe people in the audience might not know too much about Dennis Bachtel. You're talking about a 20-year vet here. I mean, it's tough. It's going to take a lot to get rid of him. I mean, Vlad's going to have to land something clean or they do a corner stoppage, because it's a tough guy. Very, very tough guy. Let's have a look at some of the action where Vlad started landing a couple of big overhand rights. Dennis Bachtel almost play acting there and missing his big overhand right. See, tried to throw a little flurry there, nothing landed. But that's just to show Vlad that I'm still here, I'm still fighting. You're not getting rid of me this easy, not that yet.
Yeah, interesting round that one. Wasn't as dominant as the first couple of rounds that we witnessed, but another look at the face doesn't look good.
Yeah, I mean, he's never going to get a modelling contract, but I mean, this is the boxing. This is boxing.
He could be a James Bond villain.
He could be a villain.
Yeah. Into round number 5, we get underway. Vlad Sierrenko poking out the jab once more. Oh, great shot there, back top.
Vlad, yeah. Nice little right hand. Best shot for him.
Is that the shot that's going to wake Vlad up?
Well, I said I want to see if Vlad can take a punch. I mean, it didn't land flush. It landed almost around the ear rather than on the chin, but I guess he answered that question. Nice little poppy right hand.
I suppose in the heavyweight division, anyone can have a serious punch, but looks like Bachtel got a little bit of confidence coming out of that last round.
He did.
And that could be a bad thing for Sierrenko, considering what we were speaking about previously, which was you need to get him out there.
What you don't want to be is Vlad is, well, it looks like he definitely seems to hurt his left leg there. He kind of hobbled again there. I mean, the worst thing for Vlad is if Dennis Bachtel thinks he can take Vlad's punch now. I mean, he's been hit hard with a couple of big right hands and a couple of big jabs, and he's still there coming forward. And if anything, he's the one throwing now.
Yeah, he is indeed.
Nice uppercut from Vlad on the way out there as well, though.
Oh, you see, Vlad comes in. You give that space. You give him space to throw that shot. It could be lights out.
Nice again, nice little right hand. He almost looks like he's sensing that he can get him on the ropes and cause damage here. Another nice little clubbing left hook. It doesn't look like he's putting full force into this. He might need to sit on his punches a bit more and really going to land. It's almost like he's landing it and he's on the way out already as he lands it. Bit defensive here from Vlad. Like he's landing his shots, then he backs off a bit.
Oh, there we go.
Just you know, there's something wrong with his left leg. I'm pretty sure he keeps stumbling on that leg.
Yeah, Sierrenko as well, just putting a combination together right there.
Good work from Bachtel, trying to just to show the ref he's still in there. You don't want to give the ref any inkling that you don't want to be there. We've seen a couple of fights already. Mark Subramani was one of them where you get tagged and you look like you don't want to be there. Ref jumps in. You just want to make sure the ref knows I'm still here and I'm still fighting.
I think a big difference in in boxing mentality between the two.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Where you got a guy from Russia who backed off, who's never say die, He'll never give up.
No,
You'll never see him. Someone will have to drag him out of there.
He won't. I mean, look, my old adage is that you can live to fight another day, but he's struggling to. I mean, his head's popping back, almost like a Rocky Balboa movie there, wasn't it, with those jabs? Massive deep breaths as well. He's starting to feel that in his 39-year-old legs here. This is tough now. And I think, look, he kind of live for another day. I mean, unless this is his last fight, which I'm pretty sure it isn't. Live for another day and just call it quits here. He's landing. He's getting busted up a lot now.
Yeah, it continues to get worse.
You know what it is? I think that they're looking at it. Look, if you're not winning, and you're not going to win, what's the point? If I'm honest with you, let's have a look at that shot that Bachtoff lands against Vlad. It was like a flurry and then a right hand bang there.
And he created the opening so nicely there with the body shots.
That was good experience.
Shows the veteran.
But then he got tagged, that beautiful uppercut there, just tagged.
And then there's that shot just behind the ear there.
A buckle as well, wasn't it?
But recovers so quickly. But the heads again clashing, and that's where a lot of the cuts could also be arising. Yeah, Vlad's face looking relatively clean compared to Bachtov's.
I always wonder with Vlad, and obviously he understands English very well. I wonder when you're in the heat of the moment and you're getting instructions in English and not Ukrainian. I kind of wonder if he's taking these instructions in, if he understands what they're saying.
Yeah, typically in the box, even with James Ali Bashir, there was always a Ukrainian
guy in the corner with dark hair.
Yes, that was his amateur coach, I think.
Yeah, he's no longer here.
He's no longer. Yeah, the whole setup has changed.
And he was the one that gave those instructions.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's listening or understanding the instructions now.
From what I saw from when I did the interviews in the gym, the boxing chemistry seems to be good between the Smith's gym and Vlad Sirенko. Maybe a few things, but his English has improved quite substantially.
Right.
Good shot from Vlad.
Oh, good jabs there from Vlad Sirenko. He's keeping it going.
Nice right hand. Landed that right hand clean.
I just got to keep him busy now and then look for the big shot like he's been doing the whole fight.
Yeah, the referee is just itching to jump in here. Every time he does that.
He is standing rather close. He's not in a distance. But the cut hasn't got worse, though, to be honest. And it's been multiple cuts on the face. But the referee is having a close look at that.
Do you, I'm notoriously hard on boxers, but do you maybe just give it a case of Vlad got the win against a tough Russian here, or do you look at it as then you wanted and expected a knockout? How do you look at it?
No, look, from his point of view, he needs the knockout. He doesn't need the knockout in terms of his record. He needs a knockout in terms of who he fights next.
Yeah.
Is he good enough to fight better levels, or does he
need to stay around?
Does he need to stay around for a bit longer?
Yeah.
And
what do you think?
What he should do?
Yeah.
Put him away.
Now, in terms of if it does go to points, and it looks like it might.
Oh, what do you do next?
What do you do next?
You bring another veteran out. Yeah. See if you can turn him.
I agree. There was talk about, I think it was Lazati, the Argentinian guy who was supposed to fight instead of Bachtoff. I mean, that could be an option. He's a guy, again, that's fought the likes of Joshua and all those guys. He's been around. That kind of veteran, just to give him rounds and ask more questions before he takes that step up, could be a good thing.
Look, there's nothing wrong with if he isn't ready, then he isn't ready.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, we're only talking a 24-year-old here.
Yeah, so the thing is that we want to see the champion now as spectators, as commentators, as media. And we're hoping for it soon. But if it's not the case, then you've got to bring him back.
Yeah, I think there's absolutely no problem in bringing him back. I mean, he's not done much wrong here. Bachtoff is just as tough as a coffin nail. He's as tough as they get.
10 seconds.
Last couple of seconds of this round, Bachtoff's still in there. I mean, you wouldn't have thought he'll still be in there when you think of how round 1 and 2 ended, but he is still there.
Yeah, he's still there, and still another 2 rounds to go. Having a look at the corner, they're looking pretty confident.
They're getting their money's worth from him. I mean, I'm sure he's not getting paid any extra for any round. That's just a flat fee, and this guy doesn't have to, but it's still there.
Yeah, having a look at just the amounts of blood that's on that towel. He's been in the war today with Wladysław Sіренko, but of course he's used to this. He's been in wars before.
He has been. But I don't know. It's difficult to judge. I mean, again, I feel like it's good for Vlad. The experience is fantastic. But he would have hoped that shot, for example, that right hand there, that normally gets rid of kids. I mean, normally guys keep put away from that kind of shot.
You said it early in the piece. We looked at all the other undefeated boxers that Bachtoff has beaten. They put him away.
Yeah, that's fault. Yeah.
So I think he's desperate. I think he's now trying to force it a little bit now. Good jabs there from
nice
Sіренko.
splash of blood and water just went over a commentary booth. Always good to get hit with a bit of red and white. His legs look a bit wobbly now. He is going for the finish, definitely. He's already starting to...
This is the Sіренko we know.
Got to be careful, though. He felt the power of Bachtov in that round 4. Got to be careful here as we go into round number 7. I mean, this is an 8-round fight.
I think they'll learn from this as well. The letting Bachtoff back in round 4 is perhaps a slight error on his part, because he's given him the confidence to say, like, listen.
Yeah, he almost took the gas off. He took the foot off the pedal a bit, didn't he? I think he had a chance, I think, to kind of run over him around there, and he kind of took the foot off the pedal.
You got to know when. I don't think that was the right moment to take it off, and I don't think taking it off in this fight at all was an option.
Yeah.
It's not a 12-round fight where you can say, listen, 4th round, come back, take the confidence away. He hasn't taken the confidence away. He's left the confidence there.
But, and this is, I guess, the counter-argument to that. Bachtov's probably maybe shared around. Apart from that, Vlad's not comfortable. I mean, faces aren't an indication of anything, but you look at both of their faces, and Vlad looks like he's barely had a spar, and Bachtoff does look beaten up. So he's been comfortable, and I think most boxers that go rounds they don't want to go will say after, I wanted the rounds. So he will probably say, I wanted these rounds anyway, and I mean, the Smiths camp, if Kotso speaks to them, will probably say we wanted him to get rounds. So that's probably what they're going to say. So it's not that bad. His last fight out in Germany, it kind of ended, I think, in like 30 seconds. Big hand.
Oh!
Referee's called it. Referee's called it.
Referee's called it. Bachtoff not happy with it.
Not happy, but I think it's, you know,
it was that.
I think it was the right decision.
It was literally that big left hook that landed.
Yeah,
and the referee,
it was a big left hook.
The referee,
I think,
no.
Yeah. And not just that, it was the cumulative punches leading up to that. He's been hit with quite a few big right hands and jabs, eating them all throughout the fight. So,
but don't take too much away from. Don't read too much into Bachtoff not agreeing with the decision. I'm pretty sure this happened many times before. He just doesn't know.
Yeah, he doesn't know when to quit. He doesn't know when to stop, and he doesn't want to be stopped. Let's be honest. And most times as well, I don't know if you know how people at home might not know how it works. If you are stopped as a journeyman, you have to take a lot longer out. You get a suspension normally, I think it's 3 or 4 months.
And that's your pay gone.
That's your pay gone. Whereas if he went the distance, he could literally turn around in a couple of weeks and say, I want to fight again. It's not good, but he could do that. If you get knocked out, you get suspended, you can't fight again. So that's probably why he was more upset as well, thinking, damn, I missed out on another payday, which I might have got next month. Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate, but at the end of the day,
I think he needs time to rest. I mean, look at the injuries, look at the eyes, look at the face.
You wouldn't want him fighting in a month's time.
I would not want him at all. Good, you know, good performance though. I mean, you've got people ringside saying it was a good fight. I think, you know what it is? As a fan, you wanted to see Vlad get rounds. I mean, I would hate to commentate here and Vlad gets rid of the kid in 1 round. I want to see a few more questions. And there's the stoppage, and I think it was fair. I mean, it's a lot of punishment he shipped. Here we go again. He gets caught, but that left there took him back, and I think that's the punch that the referee said, you know what, I've seen enough.
Yeah.
And I think the referee's fair.
I'm not too mad at the stoppage.
I'm not mad at all. I mean, I want to see him come again. I want this to be Bachtov's last fight, but I think he needs to maybe go back, reassess, rest. You look at Vlad now. I asked a question, Hayden. You know, he's got that stoppage now. He's got the knockout victory. People just look at records. They don't look at fights. It will say he stopped Dennis Bachtoff in the 7th. Where does he go from here? Does he do another journeyman, another experienced journeyman, or does he take a more serious contender?
I don't see a reason why they're not looking at international title shots for Władysław Sіренko just to get him into the ratings. No, because he is good enough to be in the ratings, the top 15 of sanctioning bodies.
Yeah.
Why not give him a test like that?
Yeah, like a WBO international, a regular belt, one of those kind of fringe
What's it going to help
intercontinental belts.
him? You know?
I can't stand those belts, but I believe you're right. Those get you in the rankings, and I think he needs one of those as well. Again, I don't know if we're rushing him though. He's only 12 fights in. I don't know. All right, let's go to Kotsuro Ramopo, who I think's ready with the official decision. Let's have a look. I think he is ready. See, look, it makes me laugh how they can laugh and smile and joke like this after that kind of fight, but he can.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a round of applause one more time. Absolutely amazing warriors. The fight comes to an end at 1 minute and 43 seconds of the 7th round. The man victorious in the ring, Vlad Sіренко.
Coach just above us talking to me and Hayden saying, good fight. That I think he's trying to say that he's
Had his fight at heart.
Fight his heart, didn't he? That's what he's trying to say. And it was a good fight.